Hey crafters! Well, this is one of my favorite times of the year to talk about flannel. Definitely one of my favorite fabrics to be wearing right now, but we're not just talking about the fabric. We need to talk about flannel shirts, and even more specifically, flannel shirts from the thrift store and from the guys section. A lot of you thrifters know it's always a great idea to take a peek in the men's section. Depending on what you're looking for and your body type, you might find some really fun pieces, especially like boxy cut, oversized fits, barn jackets. I always love checking the t-shirts because that can be a lot of fun. Maybe even you might even be able to find some like vintage blazers, things like that. Always worth a check. I need to show you some really cool flannel shirts that I've gotten from the men's section, and some I just love wearing as is. Others I was able to thrift flip into something new. To start with, we need to go back in time a little bit though, to actually last summer when I was visiting my family and my sister and I did some thrifting. We ended up finding in the men's section vintage flannel shirts in duplicates. Yeah, these were some men's flannel shirts, very boxy, kind of in the XL sizes, from the brand Cabela's. And these had very naturey prints, very earthy colors. Definitely made me think like late 90s, early 2000s on these shirts. And there were a couple different shirt styles that had two of each at the store. Two shirts, that means there are two of us, and we could do a twin look. We love the shirts so much as is that we did not want to thrift flip or upcycle them or change them in any way. They're also vintage, so we wanted to keep them intact and see if we could style these oversized vintage men's flannel shirts. So fast forward a little bit to this winter when we were together and we put some outfits together. Let's take a look at those shirts and the thrifting footage, and then we'll show you how we chose to wear them on that wintry day. Well, these are the shirts we came home with. They almost match, but are just a little bit different. This one's actually a tall men's 2XL, and the other is just a regular. Both from Cabela's, but they definitely go together, so we had to wear them together. Well, now we need to see a little bit of thrifting footage that I took recently when I went to the thrift store and found not one, but three matching men's flannel shirts. I was actually on the hunt for 3 flannel shirts for a project I had in mind. I was prepared hard to buy 3 that kind of maybe matched or coordinated a little bit, but not 3 that were the same thing. So I got pretty excited, and of course those shirts came home with me. So let me show you a little bit of that thrifting footage, and I'll show you once we got those shirts home, washed, and ready to go for a project. I'll show you what I'm thinking of for a little thrift flip. Well, you saw right, guys. I couldn't pass up 3 that match, because that means whatever I'm doing is gonna kind of match. So that sounds great. Only problem was, it wasn't till later that I noticed there are a whole bunch of holes in the shirts. Just kind of randomly all over the bodies of the shirts, a whole bunch on the sleeves. Kind of bummed about that, but I probably would have bought them anyway. I'm thinking men's shirt to dress. Yep, you've seen me do it before on this channel. You're gonna see me do it again because it's fun. I have tried on the shirts. Well, one of them. They're all the same size, which is also helpful. And I will say it is a boxy fit, being a men's large, but it is not all that big in the bust and shoulders. So just a note, if you're shopping for men's shirts or shirts that don't have any darts or fitting, extra detailing, then, you know, you're going to need to get them kind of boxy if that helps your body type, like mine. Yeah, so I was grateful that one shirt fit pretty well up top, and thankfully there is one shirt that has fewer holes than the others. So I'm thinking that shirt, and that's actually this guy in the center, is going to be kind of the foundation for the dress. I will probably keep that shirt pretty much as is, and then I'm thinking of kind of cutting off like right under the arms, or kind of even the bottom below the pocket area of the other 2 shirts, and getting those like slices of shirt and then sewing those on to the base shirt to turn the base shirt into more of a dress or kind of a shacket kind of idea. Let's take a look at what I'm thinking. Okay, so I kind of folded up the shirts and like lined them up kind of the way I'm thinking. That's kind of what I'm thinking. It's like cut off slices of the other 2 shirts and then sew them on. So that's what I'm thinking, you guys. Honestly, when I went to the thrift store, I was originally planning to find hopefully 3 different shirts that kind of coordinated and were like a similar weight of fabric. If that is something you want to try as well, I would definitely recommend trying to find a base shirt that fits you up top as well as it can. And then for your other 2 shirts, I would say they need to be at least as big as your base shirt, if not bigger. When you're attaching them to the base shirt, it's definitely easier to work with a shirt that has more fabric than less fabric. So just FYI, want your skirt shirts to be at least the same size, if not bigger, than your top shirt, and your top shirt should hopefully fit. Now, for my next steps here, I think I'm going to be chopping off the shirts to try to get them kind of ready to sew together. I will probably need to be doing some significant seam ripping to try to get some of those pocket remnants off. I'm also bringing out my iron-on patch collection because my oh my, I am finding holes all over these things. So I'm going to probably spend a lot of time just ironing on patches once I've got these cut down to the size I want them to be. That's the plan. Let's dive in. Let's get started.
Okay, and we have the pieces for our dress. Fantastic. Next steps, I need to get out my thread ripper and carefully remove some of the extra pocket pieces that remain on the skirt pieces. Then I'm just going to open up all these buttons and find all the holes and get those iron-on patches on in the inside or the wrong side of the fabric. All right, let's get to patching, pocketing, and then honestly we can just get to sewing these pieces together and it'll be a dress. Cool, let's do that. Well, that patching experience took about 800 years. You can tell we're looking at the inside of the shirt pieces. You can see some of the patching. Oh my gosh, some of these shirts had so many holes. Or like fraying areas that were like almost holes. It just really begs the question. Like, what on earth happened? Was this person like attacked by a beaver or something? Got in a fight with a raccoon? I mean, look at this. Of course, my sneaking suspicion is that whoever owned these shirts threw them into the wash with a whole bunch of heavy denim and stuff with nasty zippers and snaps, and they just chewed up the fabric of the flannel. Who's to say? I mean, I guess the beaver scenario is possible. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But thankfully, we are now ready to basically sew these chopped up shirt pieces together. And after all that patching, I'm ready for it. So let's pin and let's sew. And with that, you guys, we have ourselves a dress. Oh my goodness, you noticed we sewed those panels together. I did a zigzag stitch to keep those raw edges from unraveling. If I had worked with 3 different flannel shirts, of course, that process would have taken more time. I would have likely had to adjust the skirt panel pieces in order to match the top shirt. Hopefully I would have just been able to maybe like take the shirts in on the side seams enough to get them to match the top shirt. I have tried this on and I do appreciate the fact that these cuffs have corduroy on the inside. I actually have to cuff the sleeves a little bit because they're too long on me, and that corduroy shows, which is super cute. One thing I do need to adjust though, sadly, I need to trim the bottom of the dress because it's actually a little too long on me. Somebody probably should have measured that earlier in the process, so I'm a little bit sad to lose the hem of this shirt, but I'm going to need to trim that off and do a simple rolled hem to make this just right for me. Of course, you guys, I can't wait to put this outfit together, so while I'm doing that, it's a great time for you guys to give this video a big thumbs up and consider subscribing for more wild and crazy stuff from Partners in Craft. We're always making something around here. And thank you guys, as always, for the likes, shares, comments, just for sharing the love. It makes a big difference around here. So I'm going to get to doing that. Then I'm going to put an outfit together, and let's see what this looks like all finished.